Well, I have, we'll say it's pretentious, and yeah, it's a guy who's like saying, I know about film, even classic directors like Akira Kurosawa. But no, I right now at this moment, my first two films from Netflix was were two foreign films. I mentioned one like several times already. One was a French film, Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and the other film was an Akira Kurosawa movie, Rashomon. And I'm enjoying that movie. I have yet to like say that I recognize it for the classic that it is. I know it's influenced a lot of films, but I haven't finished watching it yet. But at the moment, I'm enjoying it. But come on, man, Seven Samurai. I mean, who the fuck? What other answer is there for people of our generation? Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai is one of my favorite films of all time. It's on every favorite film list I ever make. It's got to be Seven Samurai.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, that's you know the answer to that before you even write it. so
here's another question in that vein, but that has an answer other than Seven Samurai.
Okay.
And this is from Antho42, and he asks, what is your favorite French film?
Oh, Jesus. What is your favorite French film? I mean, there's so many. How can I just name one?
Well, because you might know what your favorite French film is. I know what my favorite French film is.
So you have one favorite French film right now?
Well, when it comes to what's my absolute favorite French film, if I had to choose one French film and only watch one French film for the rest of my life, it would be The City of Lost Children.
I knew you were going to say that.
But that's because that's such a film that plays to who I am. I mean, I love that movie, and I love those kind of films, and I love what Jeunet did with that film. It's such a really great movie. City of Lost Children. If you've never seen it, you are missing out. It is a fantastic dark fairy tale.
Yeah, no, it is. And I actually like the other movie, Delicatessen, better. Who are the directors?
Jeunet, and I forget the other guy's name now that you've asked.
I've seen so many French movies that it's just like in America. I mean, I've seen so many French movies in so many different genres. Like I said, I just got through watching a classic musical, and then I've seen French horror films. I've seen French dramas. I've seen French action films. So I can't really break it down to one particular movie. And I mean, I'm just now beginning to discover like the French New Wave and watch some of those movies, some of them again for a second time. And so I that question is just very broad. It's one of those questions that I just can't answer right off the bat. But I really did enjoy the Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So there you go.
Well, I would also throw La Femme Nikita's up there for me. I really love La Femme Nikita. Yeah,
I do like that movie. Like I said, Delicatessen I like a lot, but then I've seen a lot of old French films that I like a lot too. I mean, it's really one that I can't narrow down to one film. That's like somebody asking me, "What is your favorite movie?" And I don't really have one. It would be unfair for me to name just one. So yeah, a little too broad for me. But I have my favorites in every genre, and I don't want to bore anybody with going down a list. So
all right. So Ricky Carrar asks an interesting question. Ricky Carrar, or maybe it's Kara, but it's two R's, so I'm guessing Ricky Carrar. And he asks, question for Coco, are you two looking forward to Bad Boys 3? You know it's going to be the best movie ever, right? LOL. I think it is going to be the best fucking movie ever. Fucking Bad Boys 2 was fucking incredible. That movie catches a lot of flack, but man, that is the best car chase in the last decade. Easily. A lot of people will say, oh, no, the car chase from Ronin. The car chase from Ronin got boring. I actually literally got bored halfway through the car chase in Ronin. The car chase in fucking Bad Boys 2 is off the fucking
It had cadavers flying all over the place.
That's
crazy,
the second car chase. Yeah. I love the first car chase up on the the Miami expressway with the boat and accidentally shooting through the car and all the craziness there.
There's some things in Michael Bay's action films that I don't need to see. I mean, there's these themes that go into his film, like animal sex. You see a lot, and sometimes the action gets too crazy. But for something like Bad Boys 2, that movie was so insane and so over the top that I let go, and I said, all right, I'm having fun with this. It'll be crazy for me to sit here and nitpick this movie. It's a Michael Bay movie with not just Will Smith, but Martin Lawrence. And I'll tell you something, though. That's one of the things that really makes that movie is the chemistry and and a lot of the scenes between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. They really helped that movie because those guys, they're not serious about anything in those movies. And they're just sitting around cracking jokes through the whole thing. And they kind of ground all the absurd shit that's going on in those Bad Boy movies. I wasn't crazy about Bad Boys 1. I actually thought that was kind of boring, but they amped it up for Bad Boys 2. And like I say, you got two guys who do comedy very well, and they're just showing you just how goofy this film is by kind of being goofy themselves. And it works that way. If you had two guys who were taking it more seriously, those movies wouldn't work. So I'm dreading and I'm looking forward to Bad Boys 3 because it can either be so insane that it tops the second one and you're thinking like, wow, my mind has just been blown. Or it could be so crazy that it could be like, all right, I let it slide for the second one, but this is just fucking ridiculous here.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Bad Boys 2 stands as one of those films where the sequel is actually better than what came before it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it's I really am looking forward to this. It's what Michael Bay does best is bad boy movies. It's the very best thing he does, and I'm really looking forward to it. They're the only buddy cop films that still work these days.
I mean, it was crazy at the end too when they had I've only seen the movie once, but I did like it, and I remember that at the end they even had to like go over the top with the death scene of the villain. Like it wasn't enough just to like shoot the guy, but when they shot him, the guy had to fall on a mine and blow up in half. And I was like, this is some shit that you see
Michael Bay does.
I know. That's like this is some shit you see on Family Guy. I mean, this is crazy.
Oh God, I love that movie. I need to put that movie in this week before Fantastic Fest. I've got it on DVD. I love the shit out of that movie. In fact, that movie gave us one of my favorite T-shirts of all time, which was the Hot Fuzz T-shirt, which had the tagline on it, "This shirt just got real."
Oh yeah, because that movie is just a big riff on Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. Those two guys in that movie love
Point Break, and Edgar Wright loves the hell out of Bad Boys 2 and thought he was alone until he came to Austin and discovered a whole mess of us here that love the shit out of it too. So
now Bad Boys 2 I really do like a lot. Like I said, it's one of those rare movies though. I mean, hey, listen, if you're going to do an action film and do it to a point where it's just unbelievable, just go all out with it. And that's what they do with Bad Boys 2. And they're cracking jokes to the whole thing. So it all works for some reason. And yeah, I enjoy it too. What else you got there?
I got one last question for you before we go to your email. This is, again, we'll round out. We'll come back around. Tom G25.
It's the same guy?
Same guy, but he asked a really good question. So I had to ask the pretentious question and now the good question because this question's great. Is there a film or TV show that most reflects your high school experience? Dazed and Confused, Freaks and Geeks, Happy Days.
A TV show that reflects my high school experience?
Or a TV show or movie.
Or movie.
What media reflects your high school experience? I'll go ahead and go with mine. Can't Hardly Wait. People ask why I have that on my top 10 favorite films because it's one of my favorite movies ever. But quite literally, that very much reflects what I was in high school. I was I was a writer. I was planning on going off to college for writing. There's this girl I pined for all through high school. Couldn't really get the guts to do what I needed to, say to her, and ended up writing this poem that through a whole weird set of coincidences created my own weird teen high school comedy. And I end up on the last day of school at the graduation party hanging out with her. And quite literally, it mimicked a lot of things in that movie. And that movie really kind of spoke to that experience that I had in high school and being that guy. And so that movie really hits me where I live. And that's the film that if you want to know what Carlisle's high school experience was like, watch the movie Can't Hardly Wait. Except I didn't get the girl.
Let me see. Mine would be Heathers, because I went around killing all the popular kids and getting away with it. No, I actually, it really is Heathers. Because not if you take out the murder part. I was kind of like Winona Ryder in that movie where I was just kind of the person who got along with, who wasn't a part of any group. I had like one guy that I kind of hung out with a lot. And then and we discovered some things about each other. No, I had a best friend in high school, man. Him and I hung out, and we were just kind of like, we
You could
we don't
say it,
no,
Corey. We've talked about the fact that you were a nerd in high school.
No, I was. Well, let me see, because I'm trying to think of another movie, but no, Heathers was the one where I was a guy. I was not part of any kind of group. I was actually kind of content with just kind of being who I was, and I was happy to be who I was by the time I was 17. I was pretty confident at that point, but because of that, I actually got along with a lot of the popular kids and the unpopular kids. I mean, I could just ease into any group and get along with people. And if you also take another aspect of high school movies, I can't really name one, but those high school movies where you start out with the ugly person who all of a sudden becomes like, I'm not gonna say I became like a really handsome guy, but I was an ugly kid. I'm not gonna lie, I was like an ugly kid when I was like 13, 14, 15, and a little bit 16. And then there was just one day where I looked at myself and I said, something is really a point of just fixing these things about me. The way you dress, the way you cut your hair, you get rid of all your acne. If you take enough medicine and eat right, you start exercising and taking care of yourself and looking well. And I went from girls telling me like, I don't want you to, actually having people ask me out on dates by the time I was 17 and actually having to learn how to, go on dates and what to say and how to get along with girls and everything. So any kind of high school movie with that theme, I consider myself to be in that category.
You know what's funny? I got the actual makeover experience in high school. I had the female best friend who did the whole full-on makeover with me, took me out and we bought clothes and said, you know what you need? You need an earring and you need to do this to your hair and transform me from the dork into the mullet earring
and wear this feather boa.
that
put on this eyeliner.
Still didn't get dates.
Well, it takes a while, man. Shit, everybody's so picky in high school. But I mean, by the time I got to high school, I didn't know how to talk to girls, and so I just said all the smart ass things that I could, and a lot of girls took it as, oh, this guy's kind of like being a really confident asshole, and I was like, not really.
You know what was really great about graduating high school though?
What's that?
Finally getting to date high school girls.
And to this day, you're still keeping that up.
Still keeping it every chance I get.
Keeping the dream alive.
That's right. I keep getting older. They stay the same age.
Yeah, there you go. The real Matthew McConaughey.
Dude, I live a mile from there. I go to eat there all the time.
Oh, from what? From that hamburger joint? What was it called?
Top Notch.
Top Notch. Yeah.
Yeah, I live right up the road from that famous scene. Every time I have filmmaker friends come in town, it's like, all right, I got to show you this place. And I drive them up there, and they're like, what is this? And I'm like, the scene from Dazed and Confused. I do love them redheads. And they're like, oh my God, this is the place. Holy shit. And
oh yeah,
so, yeah. And good burgers, man. Good burgers and good chicken there. Have you ever had the fried chicken at Top Notch?
I have, and I used to work. Worked with a friend, and they had a studio around the corner from there. And they told me exactly what you said: the chicken and the hamburgers. And there was one week where we had the hamburgers, and then the next week we went and got the chicken. I was like, God damn, this is good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I rarely get the burgers because I always get the chicken because it's such good chicken.
Okay, you read those.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I said you read those, so I guess I should read some email on my end.
Read us an email real quick.
So people won't be like, Corey, I sent you emails and you didn't fucking read my questions. Okay.
Yeah, but that's what Let's Do This is for.
And that's what we do. We read a lot of these people's questions. And people have even started going from asking us on Let's Do This, saying, please, fuck our thoughts. They're asking you and I to fuck their thoughts now. And I'm like, well, I thought that's what we did every week anyway. Okay, this comes from Mr. Bowler, and he says, long-time listener, and see right here, first time to get my thoughts fucked. He says, I'll keep it short. What are some movie quotes that you seem to incorporate into your daily life, whether subconsciously or on purpose? Thanks. Unless you don't read it, then whatever. All right, well, we're reading this, and you want to answer first or want me to answer first?
Well, the one that I say probably every single day is con.
Damn, do you just find a moment to just work it in?
No, just whenever something whenever something really frustrates me, or when it's something that's you've been foiled in whatever you've done. The perfect answer is always con, and when you do it, people totally understand what you're talking about without you having to throw a chair.
So I didn't know if you were going through the drive-through at Wendy's and may I take your order? And con. They're like, what the fuck, Kurt? What do you want? She want food or not?
I would chase you down round permission's flame. He tasks me, and I will have him.
And the person's like, let me get my manager real quick. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I just want trying to get what he wants. I have to say that I incorporate quotes from movies and these quotes just sound normal. It's the way that I say them that are from the movies that relate them back to those films. There are 2 Disney films that I find myself saying quotes from all the time. Like if I'm thinking deep about something, there's a line in 101 Dalmatians where one of the puppies seems to be dead. And the guy in the movie starts like he picks up the puppy and he says to himself, and yet I wonder. And he starts petting the puppy and warming it up, and the puppy comes back alive. And whatever I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, and yet I wonder. And there's been a few people who have known, they said, is that from 101 Dalmatians? They're like, wow, that's so generic, but really good. That's good. And then the other movie's from The Sword and the Stone, where Merlin is, I think he's just pissed off Arthur, and he's taken off. And the owl, I forgot what Archimedes is looking at early. He's like, what do we do now? And then he says, what's that fucking line that I say all the time? It is, fuck, now I can't even think of it now that I'm saying it. Jesus Christ.
Wow, really? They say that in a Disney film?
They do. They say, fuck. Well, what do we do now, brother? Fuck, I don't know, man.
Think about that. The one of the other ones that I say on a regular basis, what always amazes me is that people don't recognize this, and I get the weirdest looks because people think I'm actually saying this, where, I'm about to leave, and I just kind of wave to everybody and go, I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
From the Will Ferrell movie?
No, that's from the end of Clue.
I've never seen Clue. That's because what you said.
Because one of the characters is gay throughout the movie, and he's a homosexual, and at the end of one of the endings, he turns out to actually be an FBI agent that was posing as that, and they're like, "You're an FBI agent? You were faking it?" And he's like, "Yep, I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife." And that's the end of the film, and that's what it ends on. And I'll wave and walk out to that. Some people get it, and they'll be, oh, okay, that's funny, it's Clue. And other people are like, why did you just fucking tell me that? I didn't want to hear that.
Oh, I got it now. That's what happens. Merlin gets pissed off in the movie, and he's just like, fuck this, and he disappears because Arthur doesn't want to take the challenge of being king or anything. It's from Disney's The Sword and the Stone. And he leaves Arthur and the owl Archimedes there, and Arthur's just like, what the fuck happened? He looks at Archimedes and like, well, what are we going to do now? And Archimedes says, who knows? Who knows anything? And sometimes I'll respond to people and they're like, well, what are you going to do now? Like, I don't know, who knows? Who knows? And some people have actually said, wait a minute, that's from some cartoon or something. So, yeah, I usually say, I did say one time, I'll say this at the appropriate times, and I know where I got it from. I've actually responded like subconsciously and didn't know where I got it from and thought about it, and somebody called me on it. But if I get a cold and it's like warm weather, somebody might say to me like, "You sound a little stopped up. Are you sick?" And I was like, "Yeah, a little bit. Summertime colds are the worst." And somebody's actually recognized that line. Do you recognize that line?
No.
It is from Chinatown. Jack Nicholson says it to someone. Yeah, and he's like, summertime colds are the worst. And I'm like, and people have actually recognized that line. I'm surprised what people actually remember, because these are things that I would never catch if I heard somebody else saying it. So,
the Disney line that I found myself repeating the most over history was from Alice in Wonderland.
Which is what?
Mustard? Don't let me fill. Whenever somebody's like, you want mustard on that? It's, just instinctively, it's like, mustard?
Oh.
Let's be silly.
You know what? You have actually nailed something for me that I say when I'm playing video games. And you'll remember this if you watch Alice in Wonderland. When I feel like I'm about to win the game or beat the boss, or I'm playing against somebody in a fighting game, and I know I'm about to just put down this crazy move on their ass, it's going to knock them down, I will say, the time has come, the walrus said, to speak of many things. And, I go ahead and stab that person in the ass or something. But yeah. So yeah,
I'm just reminded of Pulp Fiction there, where you'll have this moment where you start thinking about the time has come, the walrus said, and realize that it's deep shit. And you're like, I just thought that was some cold ass shit to say to somebody before you put, bust the cap into them. But as it turns out, I am the walrus, and you are the one the time has come for.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, me and Leon are always saying to each other, whenever we say something and the other person gets happy about the news we just heard, we're like, well, shit, Negro, that's all you had to say. Yeah. You've actually heard us say that a lot.
Oh, so. Many times.
Yeah.
But I think it would be so appropriate for me to talk about the thing that I quote once a week, every week. Little TV show called Animaniacs.
Oh, I remember.
Which
Animaniacs.
I quote it all the time. Various quotes. It's actually when me and my wife met, she had seen Pulp Fiction more times than I had, and she watched Animaniacs, and so did I. And our first phone conversation involved us throwing Animaniacs quotes back and forth while talking about Pulp Fiction, and I knew that I had to marry this woman. So sure enough, I have one quote that I bust out on a couple of cold ones every week.
Oh, well, hey, look, I'm sorry. I just had to turn up the TV for a second. I'd never seen this before. Brian and the baby, I forgot, Stewie. They're doing a takeoff of Office Space, and they're beating the fuck out of a record while the Ghetto Boys is playing in the background. And I just had to turn it up for a second to see if they actually played the Ghetto Boys song. You remember that scene when they're beating up the printer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they're actually playing the fucking Ghetto Boys song and they're beating up this record. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Animaniacs?
Yeah. No, there's a quote that I bust down on a couple of cold ones every week from Animaniacs.
And what is that?
Good night, everybody.
How's anybody supposed to know that that's from Animaniacs? That could be from The Tonight Show, anything.
I think you just, I don't know.
Okay.
I just do it. I just every week it's like, what am I got? Good night, everybody.
Hey, I got another question.
So I do it, and then we end the show.
Well, is that a hint right now?
Well, since we've been doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes, good night, everybody.
I had one more question, man. I'm sorry. I had one more. I had my heart set on it. I'll let you come back to it. Keep that in mind.
All right.
Keep that thought. Hey, hold that thought. This is from Fam Guy 233. We can answer this real quick. It says, has there been a movie where the trailer came out and you didn't really want to see it, but when you saw a second trailer or some clips, you kind of want to see the movie after all? And mine is Star Trek, the first trailer, which looked like crap, but one of the other trailers got me pumped to see it. How about yourself?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I can't think of anything right offhand. I'm trying to think. I just saw a trailer recently where someone's like, you have to watch the second trailer. And I did, and I was like, oh, I want to see that film, and I can't remember what it is now.
I don't have a movie, but I will substitute some images for that. This is a Dark Knight answer, but I think it's very appropriate because when I first saw Heath Ledger's picture as the Joker, I was like, this is going to fucking suck. I don't think this looks like the Joker at all, and which means if it's not a good-looking Joker, then the movie's going to crumble. And then I saw another poster where Heath Ledger it's the one where Heath Ledger's in the middle of the street and the building is exploding behind him. And I was like, wow, okay, they got me on this. And then I saw some photos in a magazine, not GQ, Vanity Fair. I saw some pictures in Vanity Fair and I was like, holy shit, okay, I'm sold. I can't wait to see this. So that's my answer right there. Not really a trailer or a movie clip, but that'll have to do for now. Hey, Carlisle, what do those crazy Animaniacs say?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.